Shelley Lambert, Libbie's mom.
Hi, I'm Stephen Lambert. I am Libbie's dad.
I'm Libbie Lambert.
So about 20 years ago, before we had children, we were really involved in our student ministry at our church, and we had taken a group of college and career students to a Stephen Curtis Chapman concert. And Stephen Curtis Chapman had just adopted a little girl from China. And at that time, me and my wife were talking, and she said, I really feel called to adopt a little girl from China. And I said, okay, that's something we can pray about, and we'll see what happens. And a few years passed, and we got pregnant and had our son, Owen, our biological son. Then the topic came back up about adopting again.
We decided we would go ahead and start the process, and we did that. And at that time, the waiting list was about 4 years. They said, well, the waiting list is getting longer, like it might be 5 to 6 years. Would you be willing to consider any special needs, any challenges? And so they sent us a list, and we said, yeah, we would be able to look at that. And so we went down the checklist, and one of the things was club foot. And so we said, definitely we could handle that. So we traveled to China, we're ready to meet our girl, and we realized this is more significant than clubfoot. And so we took her immediately to a Western doctor in China. He said, we're not exactly sure what she has, but she'll probably never walk, she'll probably never feed herself, and so he recommended that we pass and maybe look at another file. And at that point, we were like, no, this is our girl. We're taking her home. She's ours. Libbie has a condition called arthrogryposis. It affects her joints, and she is not able to lift or have weight bearing the way that she should. It's a challenge, like every day, just to get dressed. We've had to figure out ways for her to wash her hair in the shower because, her hands only come up to here. So we've learned, just ways to get around things.
Being different from other people, it was a challenge, and I figured out a way to sometimes overcome it, but
it is hard to keep up. And you see her friends at baseball games or football games, and they're running and going through the stands, up and down the stands, and it's hard for her to get up and down. And we see her friends moving on, and we think how must that be for her? But
in different ways, I keep up with them sometimes.
Shortly after we got home, we got introduced to Shriners Hospital, and Libbie had a surgery, and within a month after, she ditched her walker. She was walking on her own in braces, and just kind of surpassing everything that the doctors in China said that she would not be able to do.
Her vocabulary, I can't, or I'm not going to try, is not in her vocabulary. And she can do everything that we can do. It may look different, but she's going to do it. She's so determined and has got such a great spirit. It's just amazing to watch.
Probably when I discovered my love of football, it was probably around 5th grade. I begged my parents that I could play flag football with my friends, and that's when I got to do it. I may not be the best, but I got to play with some of them, play with the best, and just say that nothing would stop me, that I wouldn't fail. I would just do my best and just had to put hard work and good attitude on that team.
I think what defines Libbie is her ability to go into any situation and just not worry about what anybody else thinks. She just shows up and she gives it her best. She doesn't care who's watching. She's just fearless in that way.
We never lost a game. I had a special play that I ran a few yards and I got to make touchdowns.
She got to be a standard bearer at the Shriners Open in Las Vegas. They ask all of the Shriners kids if they're physically able to carry a sign around 18 holes for 2 days. And the course is beautiful. It's 5 miles. Libbie was nominated. She represented Texas to be a standard bearer. First day we went out and she's carrying this sign, and the sign's probably 30 pounds. I mean, it's heavy. And it was so amazing. Some of the fans watching the players were actually cheering on Libbie, just saying, "You can do it, Libbie. You're so amazing." And
she works really hard. She's at the table doing homework every night. She's just self-motivated and disciplined in her work. We don't have to get on her. She just does it. And I think she likes to achieve. She likes to be. She's competitive.
My academics, I I do my best effort on putting grades. Like my favorite subject would be history. I mean, just learning about our culture and how it's been built and then how we develop. It's really interesting. My advice to other kids is just don't give up and you got to keep pushing yourself, and you can just prove to people that yes, I can do it. Like, my motto is like failure is not an option. That I can do anything I put my mind to. You got this. That you'll get there on top.